Here with Beetle and Cherry Bombers, talking about the new Grasshopper manufacturer game that was just announced at the State of Play. Whoa! Whoa!
We're here.
Yes! How do I even do that? Oh, I'm so excited. I got the wrong view. Multi-speaker? No! What are we going to do? Immersive? What's that going to do? I think we're going to
God if I know.
Classroom. Let's do it. Let's classroom it up. Because I have a feeling... What does that even mean? I'll just switch back to speaker. It'll be fun. Oh, there I am. I'll just be big. Who knows? The editor will have to figure it out.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we're figuring it all out. And I picked the classroom because I don't know if you felt this way, because it looks like this new game, Romeo is a Dead Man, has some schoolish vibes. Did you get any schoolish vibes? He's supposed to be an FBI agent who's traveling space and time because he's been injected with chemicals that prevented him from dying, but also rift the space-time continuum. I know Suda has been watching a lot of Rick and Morty, so I can't help but wonder if some of that has been sucked into his brain, and now he's spitting it out in his own way. But anyway, enough out of me. Cherry Bombers. Cherry, we'll go with you first. What were your initial thoughts when you saw this darn trailer just now?
When we were watching it, me and Izzy, we were just so hooked up on like the initial opening of it. I was like, I love curry. I think the curry section just really made us giggle.
I couldn't agree more. We want to hear, Izzy, what you thought of the trailer as an artist, as an incredible creator of Travis Touchdown artwork, general Grasshopper manufacturer artwork. Now you're doing some Swery 65 artwork. I was handing out your artwork at MomoCon a week and a half ago or so. People are coming up, having Suda and Swery signed shirts with your pictures on it. Suda and Swery got some shirts. They were like, whoa, and they were looking at the different characters and being like, can't believe she included this one and this one. They were all like in there, loving it.
Happy.
Yeah, I'm hoping to help continue all that in the future. Keep that connection going. We'll see if it works. But yeah, when you saw these characters, this art design, it was very PS5-y, I thought. It's definitely looking more fancy in terms of the tech, but still has this sort of grungy, unpredictable visual style. That was my take anyway. What were your thoughts?
Absolutely. I was thinking about it. I'm like, all of the different designs and like just like the overall look and everything. Absolute feast. Like, I love it.
It was so fun.
It's just like with 3, just they did a really good job with the visual design, just with like the UI and everything. But in this trailer, it's there too, and I'm very excited to see more of it. Like, what they had like pixel art or whatever. Like,
I was going frame by frame and sending just so we could look at everything and be like, well, all right, what are they up to?
Yeah,
lovely.
Starts off with like a live action house, and then sort of, and this is where the house. I know, just a house, and then it's like a family eating up. There's a grandpa. There's our hero Romeo, who is like an FBI agent, and then a little girl, I think, being like, "It's curry," and then as you impersonate, doorbell rings. And there's a demon zombie eating an arm, and Romeo's got half his face torn off.
God.
Inject right into the eye, which made me think of Flower, Sun, and Rain, because good old Sumio.
Catherine and Catherine in the people.
Yeah, that's right. Sticking it right in there. And Suda's been thinking a lot about his past career, having spent a little time with him. I think he is reflecting on how to take everything he's done and put it in the latest, greatest game. I think that the pressure is on. He didn't say this, but my sense is NetEase, who bought the company and then has become quite cutthroat with some of their layoffs we've heard about. They're really expecting big things, so I don't think he's limiting himself at all on how hard he's going to go. Again, pure speculation on my part, not only because he has a lot to prove in order to like make NetEase happy and to sell a bunch of copies, but also like if things don't go well, this could be the last game on the scale he does for a long time. So he's really pushing hard. Did you two read into it at all? The fact that his name is Romeo, and recently Lollipop Chainsaw was re-released, and the star of that game is Juliet, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
Yes, yeah.
And he kind of famously, they asked Suda, what do you think of this new Lollipop Chainsaw re-release? He's like, nobody told me, and nobody told James Gunn either.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that. He had nothing to do
Oh.
with that, and he was not involved. Yeah, he was bummed. So I couldn't help but wonder if he was like, well, if I'm not involved with Lollipop Chainsaw anymore, I'll just put a different Juliet in my next game and a Romeo and take it back, as he sort of did with Travis Strikes Again. There's a character in there that a lot of people have speculated is Juliet-esque, the girl with the Mappy t-shirt, if you remember
Ah,
correctly.
yes,
Mhm.
Yeah,
that
yeah. Oh,
Juliet.
what was her name?
Yeah.
I'm blanking on it suddenly. Because she's all green. Because it's in
Yeah,
the,
she's I think she's like Damon's like tertiary, whatever, her like
yeah.
other
Something like
secretary,
that.
and yeah.
But she's like, I smell the bloodlust in you. I've got it too. And he's like, pretty cool. So, yeah, I have a feeling that when it comes to characters he doesn't have the rights to, including Travis, like, I would not at all be surprised if Travis somehow, or a Travis adjacent character, ends up in here somewhere, because the game is directed by Suda, as well as Ren Yamazaki, I believe it is, who directed No More Heroes 3 alongside Suda and whatnot. So yeah, those are some facts. What are the feelings? How do you
Because like you're talking about like Travis adjacent character, and I was when we were watching the trailer like a little bit after, I was like to Cherry, I'm like, what if this is the game that just Suda puts in some like weird little like callback to the Outer Rim and just makes that canon
Oh!
for No More Heroes.
Wow.
I'm like, what? FBI agent in space? That's what was going on in the Outer Rim.
Whoa.
I'd be tickled.
I think it'd be funny, and I think
They'd tickle me with
funny
that
if
one.
what naming Romeo is like a little callback to Lollipop Chainsaw, because if I remember correctly, Nick's name was gonna be Romeo.
Yes. And he ends up getting infected with something, and they need to do something real quick to keep him alive. In that
Yeah,
game,
they gotta
cut
chop his head off.
Yeah, but in this one, they jack up Romeo with some weird juice that makes him not entirely alive anymore. And he does seem to be fighting zombies. So, again, it's like he's trying to pull everything in his career. We need to let the listeners know what the heck you're talking about, because people like us, I guess I'll refer to us as, we know what the Outer Rim is in the
Yes.
terms of No More Heroes adjacent, but most people are not aware that there was like a jazz CD.
Yes, it's a really good album.
Yeah.
Like
Good.
what? Yeah, what? No More Heroes 2, NMH Outer Rim remix, and then it's like that's from a whole album. And then two of the songs on that album have like spoken bits with Paula Tiso and Robin playing Sylvia and Travis respectively. And what? Travis and Sylvia are in space for 120 years or something. I don't know.
That's
Like,
right. It's a
Tough. They're
so in
immortal.
love. They're so in love.
They're so in love that it made them immortal. Oh, good for them.
yeah. It's if you try to track the full No More Heroes story, you've got the games, but then you also have the CD, which some people consider canon, that takes place way after 3. And then you've also got like side comics. There's like a comic about Helter Skelter and Skelter Helter side. It's like so hard to actually dig into all of it. And then now, because it's all connected through Travis Strikes Again, you gotta like get into the Silver Case and Kamoi, and you've got to get into
Everything.
Got a whole can of
everything.
worms.
Literally.
Which makes me think about what character Suda owns now. He does not own Travis and Juliet, but already this game is giving me some of the vibes that I picked up on in terms of the cut content from No More Heroes 3 that was going to relate to Shadows of the Damned, where Travis was going to go to like a hell planet and fight
Fleming, correct?
Fleming, what's his face? If I remember, who's like the father of Midori, but you don't find out his name. So this is like an interstellar demon with Romeo Stargazer, I believe his name is, and I have to wonder if he's going to start connecting his heaven and hell stuff with his sci-fi thoughts that like hell is just another planet in this game, and whether we actually might see characters from Shadows of the Damned in there.
Very, very interested because when I first saw the trailer and I like clocked it, I'm like, oh, this is the game because the like monster fucking eating, pardon the French, but the monster like eating Romeo's face and his arm, I'm like, oh, that's Christopher from Shadows, right?
Whoa! You're right! It does look like him. Yeah, Christopher's like, hey guys, you want to shop with some stuff? And he's a sweetheart, but you don't know what he used to do in the past. And this game takes place across the space-time continuum, so it could end up being a Shadows of the Damned prequel. Yeah, absolutely.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. I happen to know that, well, here's what I've heard anyway, that this isn't the only game Grasshopper has been working on, but it's the one that they figured was like best for a state of play that's definitely going to blow up. They also had been working on, last year I did a panel with Suda51. He showed a little bit of a game that looks like the Deathman game from No More Heroes 3. But this is the one that they're pushing the hardest on. Do you think, as super fans, you have to know some not super fans out there? Like, it was going to be a tough sell if I was like, everyone buy this weird beat 'em up with like intentionally chunky graphics and like limited. And well, I thought that was the game I was going to have to sell people on because that's what they showed last year. Now they're showing this, and I feel like I'm going to be able to convince normal people to
Oh,
buy
definitely.
Yeah, I would.
You feel
Yeah.
like
I
it?
would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, Cherry, how do you plan on selling people on this game? Convincing them to support it, because I think it does need a lot of support. Like, if this game doesn't do well, NetEase is not going to be happy. So we got to put the word out. Yeah. What are you thinking?
Well, because I usually just like shill out to my close friends and whatnot, and I shill to everybody. No matter what it is, I will shill. If it's something that I'm interested in, I'll do that. I think a lot of people, I think a lot of the people that I know are tired of me talking about No More Heroes. So I'm gonna be like, guys, it's not No More Heroes, but it is adjacent. Please buy it. Look how cool it is. It's got sword.
It's got sword.
It's got sword.
It's got
It's
gun.
got sword and also gun. It's a little different, guys. Please buy it.
That's kind of what they said in the trailer. So
And if they
gun,
don't-
sword and gun. Yeah.
And if they don't buy it, then I'll just buy copies for people. I'll just do that instead.
That doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me all that much. I do think the fact that it is not No More Heroes is going to help it in some ways, because
I would
feel
agree
like
with that, yeah.
No More Heroes superfans are still going to buy it. We see the No More Heroes DNA in there, and people who wrote No More Heroes off along the way. And I think that there's a fair amount of people that, as the series went on, it gained new fans too. But there's people that are just like, oh, those games, the open world was gone in one, so I'm not buying it anymore. And now the open world is too empty, so like there's always like little nitpicks that collect along the way. And this is clean of any of that. It's just a fresh new face.
Yeah, it's something different, and I think people should appreciate that, and like it'll give people something else to look forward to. Yes, it still has some of the elements that people are used to and very familiar and comfortable with, but I think having something like a completely fresh new IP, new characters, we're not like doing callbacks to the other like entries that Grasshopper has. I think having something new and fresh will attract not only like former or like old fans, but new people as well. And I think that would be like really, really good.
Yeah, I hope so. I do wonder though, both of you have noticed Travis Touchdown having a certain hotness to him. He's got
Don't I know it? Don't I know it?
To point out, his looks are part of the appeal these days. And I haven't asked you to where his looks peaked. I still think it's No More Heroes 2.
Ooh.
That's where I think his looks are at their finest.
I agree with you on that one.
It's like sacrilege for a lot of people. Because they do some pretty vastly different things with the art direction. In 3, he like looks too much like me. Like I can tell he's aged, and he's like got some thickness around the chin. No, I don't know. Is 3 the hot one? Is he hottest in 3?
At some angles, yes. Other angles, absolutely not. Oh,
But the two of us have discussed this for like 3+ hours on a call once. We've gone through every single model, so like I could talk your ear off. The both of us could. We could talk your ear off
absolutely.
about this all day.
And I don't mean to dismiss Travis Strikes Again, which is certainly not bad. I don't think he's still kind of lean in the face. He's not as thick in the jawline as he got in 3, which I agree totally about the angle. The same thing happened to me as a middle-aged dad of 2, just like Travis became. Like certain angles, if I look right at you and smile, it's like, oh, he still got it. For one of these, and forget about it. It's like it looks like his face is melting. So it happens as you get older. But what did you decide in that 3-hour call? Where is he hottest? This
Oh
Travis
God.
touchdown.
Well,
That was like a
okay,
year
this
ago.
this was a year ago now.
Yes.
How things change. How
Yes.
things change in a year.
Bias was 1 back then, and mine was 2. Mine still is 2.
She
Two.
still likes 2.
I still like
I used to not like how 2 looked, but Izzy Deer has changed my mind on it a little
I
bit.
did.
You did change my mind on it. He's rather dashing, I suppose, but I still have a very soft spot for 1.
Yeah.
There's something I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the low poly count or what. But something about his face just tickles my heart. I love him.
Yeah.
He's so dorky looking. He's so dorky looking, but he is also in 2 as well. So I mean, I don't know.
I think he's a little prettier in 2.
This
and
is true.
In 1, it's kind of in some ways, some would say it's the best mix between realism and like unrealistically pretty. So I can see that as well. Dead man though, Romeo is a dead man, face covered. Is he hot? Does anyone know? Is this going to cause the people who play games for the sexiness of the characters to reject this man because he's
Absolutely not.
No?
I don't think so. I think if anything,
Crowd for characters that are masked and let alone like the formed look as well. There is.
I think you two are saying the exact same thing simultaneously. Like your minds melded
Yeah.
and your microphones couldn't handle it. You're like both saying hot, 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 mask, 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 man, man, man. And I hear you 100%. Like Chainsaw Man, I was like, oh, it's a pretty cool looking character.
Yeah.
People aren't going to want to pork him though. Just get back from MomoCon. Everyone's wanting to pork the Chainsaw Man. And
leave that boy alone. Leave that
Oh,
young man alone.
Denji doesn't deserve that.
I know he's so innocent and confused. A true puppy. A true.
But yes, I can see people being down bad for Romeo. Absolutely.
I think there's a market for it. Absolutely. As a former person, I mean, I still kind of like my characters that are faceless or wear masks and whatnot. I can see the appeal here. And he's like pretty, like in that intro sequence. I had to go back to go take a look. He is pretty, like in the intro as well. So like, I mean, I don't know. People are into guys with half their face ripped off, which they are. I know they exist.
And you can go back and see who he was before the face rip off, and then kind of imagine him underneath the mask and wonder what did it look like if he took off the mask for you in a encounter.
Ooh, my Lala. My goodness.
And the rest of his outfit gave me a little bit of the vibe of Drive, starring Ryan Gosling, except with like a dorkiness to it, like a dorky Drive mixed with Star Wars a little bit, and then Chainsaw Man. That's the 4 influences I saw kind of meld together.
I can see that, yeah.
Hoping that has the kind of appeal that like men want to be him, women want to be with him, sort of thing.
I think he can pull it off.
Yeah, you feel the optimism.
I got faith.
I like him.
And I mean, what? Boneface is doing art for it as well. I think he can turn out. He can make something good.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Boneface is doing art for this one?
I was looking at the big old credits list that they had at the end of the trailer, and it had Boneface listed for character art. I'm like, well, peak.
Yeah, that for those who don't know, Boneface worked on character designs for Travis Strikes Again. He's a British artist, if I remember correctly, and he helped design Eight Hearts, who is Johnson from Shadows of the Damned, except like reborn for the fake Shadows of the Damned sequel in there. So that
Eight Hearts is so funny because if I remember correctly, because I had the Suda51 and Human book, if I remember correctly, it's either in that or in the Art of Grasshopper, but I think it'd be the Human book. Um, but I remember they were talking about that, and I think he said that he just like made Eight Hearts' design, and then they were like, "Wait, this looks like another character that we have," and he's like, "Oh, okay, he's Johnson now."
What's wrong with that? Yeah.
Yes. Having worked with, not worked with, I've hosted a couple of panels now with Suda and interviewed him for a few years off and on. He absolutely works off vibes. Like, I don't, the panel we just did, people were asking about Hotel Barcelona is collaboration with Swery, and Swery was like saying this game is about humanity finding peace with itself, and people are so divided today. And he like referenced The Missing, his game about being a trans woman trying to like come to terms with internalized transphobia from your parents and stuff. He's like, it's a continuation of that. Your heart has to open and you need to be able to connect with your polar opposites. Suda, what do you think? He's like, cutting people up, hotels, hot action. Like his brain is just, yeah, he's just, I love him. I love his brain. He is so able to not worry about it too much and go with his gut that if you ask him, like, did you plan this? He looks at you like, what are you talking about? But he's also like Columbo a little bit. I don't know if you've ever seen Columbo, the cop show, where he's like, I don't know anything. So just I'm wondering, why is it that your blood is all over the carpet? Like he'll just get in there suddenly, and like you'll think he's not thinking, but he's actually got a master plan. So sometimes he's doing that stuff. He's playing chicken a little bit, like, oh yeah, I'm not actually filling this game with symbolism, but then he packs it in there anyway. So it's pretty tricky to try to figure out. But I absolutely think this game, from what I know, they've been so busy working on multiple games that he hasn't even had time to think. Like, he was writing some of the script for this game, my understanding is, last year at the panel. And I was like, what are we going to talk about at this panel? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm designing a story arc right now. Gotta just keep going. Like, he's like a shark. He's constantly just moving forward and having to, like, eat up stuff and then spit it out and make a game or two out of it.
Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Always working. Always working. You gotta appreciate the man for that. He's given us some very, very good stuff over the years. So props to him.
Yeah,
props to him.
Absolutely. And he would say the same about you two. He loves the fans so much, and
I'm happy about that.
Quite flat.
Oh yeah, good grief. The line for signing autographs and whatnot at MomoCon just kept going. It was so long. I'd never seen so many. It's getting like, it's longer than last year even. All the people from last year came and they all brought like two friends basically. And it was supposed to get cut off and he was just like, no, let's keep them going. And after the panels, he'd stop aside and sign things for people. I got something signed for you, Izzy, that I got to drop in the mail. So he's signing things for people that weren't even there. He's signed something for Dr. Grambo, who's a big old Suda51 art fan. So yeah, he's there for the people. He's going to promote this game super hard too. So I'm hoping, it almost feels like, I hate to be like this because people are just going to think I'm in the pocket of Suda51 and then that he's manipulating me like a pub master. But I'm not on the payroll. I don't have to do this. I want his brand of game to succeed. I want his brand of, like, I put as much feeling and thoughts, but mostly he's just like, how can I pack as much feeling as I can into this game? I don't care about realism. I don't care about following trends. I just want you to be feeling something, like, all the time, intensely. That's what I think video games can do best, and he's trying to, like, keep that kind of game alive as games have gotten a little slower, a little more realistic, and a little more serious, and, like, oh, now The Last of Us is just dragging along. And
how many of those do we have at this point?
I know, they remade it a few times. Now they made a TV show. Like, I don't need it again.
And then they'll probably make a game.
TV show.
They're gonna make a game out of the TV show. Why not?
Oh, wow. What if they, you know what? I would not. So, like, the game, the movie, the game. I think
Yep.
they did that with Street
Yeah.
Fighter. I don't know if you knew that. There was a Street Fighter
Oh my
2,
gosh,
then there was a Street
right.
Fighter 2 movie, and then they made a game out of the movie with digitized Jean-Claude Van Damme kicking a
Yes.
stunt double for M. Bison in the face because Raul Julia had passed at that time. Anyway, enough about me. Yeah, his brand of game, I'm gonna like evangelize it. I want to get a grassroots movement. I want to make some mini comics with these characters. I want to spread them around. I want to get people thinking about it, feeling like they're a part of something in order to support it. Is that going too far? Is it worth doing?
I say go for it. I think the most
Yeah,
important thing to do, if you're passionate about something, push it. Push it as far
Mm.
as you can. Be annoying as
absolutely.
possible about it because if you don't care, who is?
Mm.
Mm,
That's right. That's right. And don't worry, and this is something Suda, as a dad, as a fellow dad, I think he's mastered this. He doesn't worry about being cringe at this point. Like he gets
Hmm.
on
he
there after,
doesn't.
no, he gets on there after the state of play and he's like, "Hey, I'm Suda51. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like, what are you doing, Dad?" He's like, "I love it." He doesn't care whether he's young enough and fun enough to do these wacky. I think it's a reference to some like. Say that again.
The Great Muta. If
Oh,
I'm
shows
Oh,
what
is
I
it a
know.
wrestling thing? Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, I thought so too. I wasn't sure if it was that or like some Sentai show or both, but Super
I
Sentai
wouldn't
show.
be surprised if it was Sentai as well.
Yeah.
Could be both. Could be something totally different too. You never know. So he just gets out there and doesn't worry about whether anyone's gonna think he's cool or not, and that's what makes him cool. I think. I don't know. What do you
I would
think?
agree with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. The just genuine ofness of it, or just like being genuine to yourself and just not caring. I
Mm.
appreciate that a lot. Like I have my qualms about No More Heroes 3 and whatnot. Like there's things I'm like, I don't really care about this. But I can't help but like genuinely appreciate just like how honest it is. Just
Mhm.
like who cares? I'm gonna put in what I like in this.
Yeah, yeah. He really is making every game these days like it's his last, just in case. So like, if there's an idea he can pursue, he doesn't want to like kick himself and think, well, I could have tried it, but I left it out. So he's
Hmm.
really going full force, all six cylinders on this stuff.
And
Which I think is good.
that's
I
the
think it's good.
move. That's the move.
Well, any additional thoughts? Any other connections that I missed before the call timer starts to die and cry?
Hmm.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I just when I was looking through like the little like quick shots where they were just flashing stuff really quickly, I liked like there was like a bunch of different styles. We got like a lot of pixel art in this
Hmm.
game, so it looks like we're gonna be bouncing between 3D and 2D stuff. So, I mean, cheers.
Yes.
Cheers. I'll drink to that. I'm interested in that. It's fun.
Yeah, there was sort of 16-bit art style with like a top-downish camera angle. It looked like he was walking around a space station, maybe. And then it looked like even older pixel art and almost looked like Pac-Man for a second. And then there's also a freeze frame of somebody, you can't see their face, but you can see they're wearing a tie. So this is, Suda says like, I didn't really think about it. But like, there's so much potential symbolism there for things he's been through and how he's had to deal with various suits at various companies. And you just see like his purple hands looking evil. So that was like a pixel art style too. Definitely is going to reach back to those sorts of things. So it may be more than the sum of its parts. Oh, there it is. The evil call is about to end counter. Yeah. So
Goodness.
Nah.
I
I
know.
think the other thing that I noticed is that like the gameplay bits that we did get to see, like the 3D parts, it felt like a mix of No More Heroes 3 and Shadows of the Dam's gameplay.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I'm feeling like if they're going all in on this, please, please don't screw them over. I want this, like, this is feeling like it's their retribution for getting
Mm,
screwed over on Shadows so many times that
hmm.
development. Like, please, please let this just not be screwed over dev wise, please.
Let him have
Yeah,
something.
I hear ya. I don't know enough about because I was watching for that. I don't know if I even saw NetEase's name at the end. I'm not.
I saw like it was somewhere in the credits, but yeah, no.
Yeah, they weren't like screaming NetEase presents. So I wonder what's going on in the background there. I also have heard there's going to be some semi-famous to old people voice actors in this
Oh
game.
boy.
And you might have already heard some of them, so I'm just gonna give you that hint. If you listen real hard to Romeo's grandpa, who becomes his jacket at the end, he might be a voice that you may know from things. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that he is one of the ones. And I forgot to mention this. I met a member of the rap group Run DMC and introduced them to James at Grasshopper. And he was just like, put me in your game. Get me in the game. I want in the game. I want to go to Japan. Like just yelling at James. And James is like, hey, Run DMC. Very nice to meet you. I can't just put you in a game, but thank you for asking.
Sure. I appreciate the enthusiasm and the
I
confidence.
hope he gets his way. I would
I agree. I do the same thing too. Maybe I'm a little shy.
And we haven't talked much about Killer is Dead. There was a huge fan of Mondo Zappa at both panels. I believe her name was Barry. She's also an artist, and she drew like a beautiful Mondo Zappa profile and gave it to Suda to sign. And she was just like, he's the hottest of them all. He's hotter than Travis. He's got to be. and the fact that the dead is in there, Killer is dead. Romeo is a dead man. Of course, it's like Killer, dead, Killer is dead, Killer 7. There's deadness and killers in a lot of the titles. But he does, as far as I know, own the rights to Mondo again as well from Killer is Dead. So he's another guy who might pop into this and may be involved with the space and time and the traveling. Because he went to the moon, if I remember.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, he's already been to space a few times. So yet another hot potential that may happen.
I would not be surprised.
And are we building it up too much? If it just ends up being a regular old game with no crossovers and whatnot, I don't think that's possible. He loves them. He loves. Yeah, but if it just ends up, if what you see so far is all you got, like 12 hours of that, good enough?
I'd be fine with it. I would like to see, as much as I love my guy, as much as I love No More Heroes and Travis and whatnot, I like to see new things.
Yes.
Would I drop Travis for this guy? Probably not. I joked about it before we got in here, but like I joked about it, but I was like, listen, that's my guy, but like I like to see new things. So
yes.
I'm down to clown with whatever we get.
We're too far into drop Travis at this point.
Oh
yeah.
And the two of us, come on now.
Jonathan, next year we are trying our best to go to MomoCon, and our goal is to literally get the No More Heroes 2 toilet paper signed by Suda.
That was a joint effort. It's a joint effort. We're supposed to be getting it this Thursday. She's getting it.
Wow.
But we split the cost for it.
We were like looking on eBay just for the joke
for
of
fun.
And someone was selling the toilet paper roll, and we're like, there's no way. Of all things, of all times, the toilet paper No More Heroes 2. All right, sure, whatever.
And I was on vacation. I just said, Izzy, just do it. I will split the cost of you. Let's just do it. Why not?
Wild. Yeah, well, I will do my part there. I would love to somehow get you both flown out there and put in hotels and whatnot.
I
would love that. If they don't do that, but they fly me out and give me a hotel, you two feel free. I'll sleep on the floor.
No!
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be comfy. No, I insist. Who needs sleep anyway? I'll be fine. So, you've definitely got a hotel locked in. It's just the airfare and whatnot. And getting it passes. I don't know. I'd certainly work on it. I've got a year, so you never know. Stranger things have happened. 4 seasons, in fact. This is this dad joke I always do. I say stranger things have happened, and then I reference how many seasons of the TV show have happened. It's just the worst. Oh, man, filled with self-disgust. But at least you two are here to be young and fun and cool and happy. And good. And I so appreciate you. Yeah, it's a very exciting time to be alive for a long-standing Suda51 fan. A real new game is coming with a protagonist who I think just might have a heart of gold. he might just be like the first true sweetheart
He might be a
character.
nice guy.
Yeah, he might just be like, I want to help, you know, like.
Even if he looks crazy with like the whole like get up and the mask, he still looks like a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's the vibes I'm getting from him too. I have the feeling
yeah,
he'll
we
like
talked
take
about
the
this.
mask off at the end and be like, Juliet, you know, and
He
he'll be like
reminded us
all
of like a
screwed up.
Kamen Rider protag, and Kamen
Yes!
Riders across the board have always been
Oh,
very pure of
yeah,
heart.
yeah.
So
Kamen Rider, the bug-faced
yes.
Yes,
Super
it was the
Sentai show.
mouth of the helmet that was tipping it off for me. I'm like, it looks like just the mouth on just Kamen Rider.
Would not be surprised. So much more to dig into. Well, with 3 minutes left, I'm afraid the call is going to cut us off before it all ends. But thank you so much for being on. I'm going to stop the recording. We can post chat until the Zoom call dies. But anything you want to send people off before I press stop?
Support Suda51's works, please, please.
Support my wife when she starts doing stuff.
Oh my gosh!
It may or may not happen soon.
Wait, are you two
Leaning
married?
towards May. Maybe one day.
One day, maybe.
Maybe one day.
Young love. It's a beautiful thing.
Cherry bombers. These drawings with your till this